Hi friends, it is currently May 19th, Sunday. If you can hear that in the background, it's my fan. I'm currently in my ailing setup, which means I am, my feet. God, I hope that sound isn't super annoying. I can't turn it off very easily because I'm stuck here on my bed unless I absolutely have to move. All that to say is that today is the 19th. As of the 31st, I want the bad play version of Café to be finished so that I can start piecing this baby together. It's been a while since I've vlogged. I'm gonna be very out of practice, but I'm done with school, so I guess it's time. Also, like, I am literally stuck at home. It is a beautiful day outside and I can't walk, so this is my life now. So I'll see you later. Hi friends, it is currently, let me just flip this around, 4:58 a.m. on May 22nd. Forgive the noise that's coming from that fan. And I just wrote 721 words for scene 5, draft 1. That's draft 0. It says 10,000 words there, but I do have like the previous draft that I did in March with Theater on the Verge. In this document is draft 0, since I'm doing a new draft based on that. But yeah, I just finished act 1 scene 5. I think the issue is that I'm an overwriter and I don't really know what I need to show and what the audience can gather on their own. I don't want the audience to get ahead of me. Does that make sense? Like, if I share too much, are they getting ahead of me? Are they anticipating where it's going? Or am I keeping them on their toes? But right now I'm also being like, this is a draft. Just a draft. And watching the previous videos, and it's funny because I was so adamant in that last year that I was like, scenes 1 through 5, they're so stable, they're done. But now, like, those 5 scenes got condensed into the first 3 scenes, and like some of that stuff still exists, but it doesn't exist in the way that I was like, this is for sure the way that it's happening, you know. But I feel like scenes 1 through 5 right now are like really stable. I have set up a lot of stuff, and I think scene 6 is going to be like a very long scene. It has to have a lot of beats, which I might try and sketch right now. Actually, you know what? I'll just tell you, and then when I watch this back, I'll remember. So in scene 6, we gotta have a little scene between Megan and Blake, who went from Nick to blah blah blah. Blake is like giving the same vibe, I think is a name. Anyway, between Megan and Blake, where she's like, I need you to go over there and like try and order that thing. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna get Blake in there, but I think that that's gonna be the trick. Oh, Mr. Herrera needs to arrive, you know, give the landlord thing that like the thing with Big Coffee went through. So like, you know, that's how we'll find out about that. Ow, Miss Marin, stop that. She literally just scratched me. Bad cat. Yeah, so those are my next 2 scenes, which I've never really written before, at least not to this level of like knowing exactly where they go. I have had them sort of sketched in my head for a couple of years, but we're at the point where like things are going. I have it somewhere on my board over there, but you know, I think I'm gonna get rid of the superstition subplot. I don't really think it's necessary, but I think like that subplot actually makes Rosa too unlikable, and I need everyone to be likable because this is a fucking comedy and I need people to end up together, you know, and I need families to end up together. Look, it's Miss Marin. She's adorable. Yes. Yes, she's a best little cat. Anyway, I'm gonna try and finish sketching act 1 by the end of May. I originally was like, let me sketch the rest of Café, like the whole 2 acts. And I just think I need to be realistic. Like, I don't want it to feel like I'm giving up. I just want to be realistic. And I do think I can finish sketching the entirety of act 1 in like this week. Just sketching. It doesn't have to be perfect. I haven't even written a lyric or anything, you know. It's just like a lot of book, a lot of structure, and like this is where they dance and this is where the song would be, and worried more about like the dramatic beats. Okay, I'm just gonna cut this because I'm just rambling now. Check it later. Say bye, Miss Marin. Miss Marin, say bye. Hey, Miss Marin, oh Miss Marin. Hi friends. Forgive the disaster that I am right now. It is currently May 29th, literally almost 6 o'clock. My sleep schedule has been all over the place, so I've really only been up for like 3 hours, but that means I'm staying up till 6 in the morning. It's just, I'm trying not to judge myself too hard about that. I seem to always do this after Max leaves, so I'm just allowing myself time to recalibrate. The only issue right now, though, is that I'm supposed to start thesis work in 2 days on the 1st, just start outlining stuff for thesis. And so I'm going in and trying to finish Café Act 1. I want to finish Act 1 this month in 2 days. And I think it's feasible in the last 2 days. However, I just started scene 8, and the next morning, if it would focus, is really the problem of that. Right now, my first act, before we've even gotten to like the big plot point, has already moved 3 days. And that makes the timeline feel way too slow. The show is moving too slow. And there's 2 things I can do right now. I can either A, write the next scene that I think I want, or I can go back in and revise the timeline and make things happen in 1 day if I can. Just because right now I think it can be much more efficient in the way that I'm doing it. And the thing about theater is that it's got to stay active and it's got to keep engaging. If I compress everything into 24 hours, it really does raise the stakes. And I think I would be able to fit everything that I wrote in scene 7 into earlier scenes. So right now I'm gonna go in, and by scenes I do mean earlier timeline. So what I'm gonna go do right now, take out my trusty dandy notebook, which I haven't used in a while just because I've been in like the drafting stages of just typing, and outline again, just timeline stuff, because I know everything that needs to happen and I need all the important plot points to happen on the first day. I'll check in with you on the other side. If I do, I don't know. This vlog is gonna be a mess. Hi friends, it is currently 5:29. I'm calling this the most buy playlist to ever buy, especially because this mixture together is very specific. Miss Marin is napping. I finished outlining the show in full pretty much, so now I'm gonna do that and start legitimately working on a new draft of this show. And by that I mean it's like I worked on compressing everything, and I have most of everything that needs to be written already on the page on either like a previous version of this draft or like, sorry, just my hair. I'm like, my hair is wet, but like I don't want to wear it down. Anyway, so I have pretty much everything already on the page, either in the previous version that we did in March or on the one that I just wrote. When I got to scene 8 today, I realized, as I mentioned earlier, that like I needed to compress the timeline, which I did. So now I'm gonna go in and write the scenes. I think a lot of the songs are going to stay. Right now I'm really focusing on writing the book and having like a solid plot structure so that scene 8 is the big number that I need it to be, that needs to cover a month, or scene 7, because I do think the opening act is only 8 scenes, and now by like compressing it I'm able to get it that small, because I think technically I did what I needed to do. End of act 1, like it's there, it's happening, it's on the page. All I'm missing is like the last 2 scenes of the act for this version that I spent time writing this last week to be done. But you know, I caught myself before I put in that work so that I could reorganize and put things in the right place. Rewriting really is a skill of learning to play Jenga, like being able to take pieces that are already there and repositioning them in a new place. That's all rewriting is, because if you've written enough drafts of something, you pretty much have everything you need on the page, and it's just about getting things in the right order to create the right kind of vibe that you want. Luckily, like I do still have a lot of the scenes that I wrote in the summer draft last year that I'm like, I'm not gonna use that draft though, but there are some scenes in there that I think I might actually use for this, which is crazy. So I'll see you later. Hi, it is currently 1:59 in the morning. I don't know exactly how long since I last checked in, but I just rewrote a lyrical section. I'll show you. So these were the old lyrics. These are publicly available, so you know, if you wanted to see them, you could hear them. This is the new section, and this is all the different lyrics that I got rid of. It's like 3 pages, 325 words attempts at it, and the final lyric is now officially 120 words. Like that's it. And I think this is what makes tracking plays and musicals so difficult, because like word count, right? Like the more economic a lyric, the better. And like that's 120 words that needs to express this very intense, thorough feeling. And I think like it took me hours to put together, literal hours. And so it's like so hard to be like, oh, I wrote 120 words today, when really like I wrote so many other words, and I Googled, I have like the thesaurus open and the rhyming schemes and like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like It's crazy how much goes into a lyric and how hard it is to like track how long it takes. But also this is making me feel way better about being a lyricist, because I was so sure that I could never write a lyric again. And this lyric is all new. It's all new except for the first 2 lines, which I kept. And like, it's crazy how much has changed and like how much I cut. And I really liked the original lyric a lot, but it's funny because when I wrote it, I was so sure about what it was. And then when we performed it, and I was working with my actress and the cast, and they were all like, what do you mean by this? What does this mean? Like, what is this? It was so helpful. It was so helpful to get that feedback, because to me, it's so clear, right? It's like living in my head. But like, if your actress is not sure what she's supposed to say, then like, how can she say it? So anyway, it's one of those things, super thankful for March. I think that's the only thing I have to rewrite in that song. And I have to work on the book, just because I've only been up since like 3 p.m. So I haven't even been up 12 hours. Oh, look, it's Miss Mirren. Hi, Miss Mirren. Say hi, Miss Mirren. Hi, baby. I think I'm adopting her. We'll talk about that later.